Welcome back to the second hour of LoveBabz, Love Talk on Babz Rawls-Ivy. Hey, Harry Droz. Harry, you're muted.
Oh my God, I should know this already.
I know. I like this background. Is that new? Something new you designed?
Yeah, that's a new design. It's gonna go on shirts and hats pretty soon.
Is it that color? What color is it? That's like a brown gold.
Yeah, like a little more orangey.
Oh, okay. I like it.
Um, Paul wants to just throw it on some hats and stuff, but I'm not happy with it yet. Still working on it.
Because I'm an artist. I'm sensitive about my ish.
Yeah.
All right. All right. All right. Feel free to make a new Love Babs Love Talk sign. I mean, listen, you want to make
Yeah,
a
he
new
wants to
one?
do special edition hats and stuff with this logo and but we'll
Okay.
see.
All right. Well, you'll make it happen, Harry. Once you dial back the inner princess.
Yeah, well, that's hard. That's really hard for me.
I know. I know. I know who I'm dealing with. It's like y'all don't know Harry's a princess. He
And
ain't
let
gonna
me
let
tell
nothing
you,
go until he is right.
with Lumi in my house, I play princess all the time. So she's the queen and I'm the princess.
Oh well. Oh, your family's still at the house?
Yeah, that's still there.
Okay. Well, they're getting closer and closer to getting back to their house.
Hopefully.
What
Hopefully.
you, what you got for me today? I know you got some conspiracy theories. I know you
So
got some news of the weird
so Karen is in San Diego this week, right?
for a work trip.
Yeah, work trip, right? Some conference or something, right? So I normally have problems sleeping, but now without her next to me in bed, I'm really having problems sleeping. So I was up since like 1:30 last night.
Oh,
Yeah. So guess what I was listening to? What podcast I was
I don't.
listening to?
I have no idea, Harry.
It was, well, it has some legitimate information and then some, I don't know if I want to call it conspiracy theories because the guy I was listening to, what's his name? Gober, I think his name is, Mark Gober,
Okay.
right? So he wrote a book called Upside Down um
Oh boy.
cosmology and stuff like that.
Okay.
So because the Dave Webb telescope, the new telescope we put up in space is actually it is rewriting what we thought. Like thinking the Earth was 13.8 billion years old.
Okay.
Actually, now they found galaxies that are older than that. So we've been basically working with, it's almost like, in the old days when they were burning people at the stake for having ideas, right, about space and the galaxy and that the universe didn't revolve around the earth and stuff like that. So but now it's like he questions our existence in this universe and how, because think about it, it's not like we're just still in this universe. We're actually flying through our Milky Way, right? The universe, according to the science that we know of, or that we got used to, because we don't know anymore. Um, so we're in the Milky Way. The Milky Way is just a galaxy in the universe, which is constantly moving. We're this little planet flying through our own Milky Way, which is flying through, you know, the universe. So it's
Okay.
like are we really that inconsequential, that inconsequential in the universe? Do we not have a special spot in the universe, or are we just flying through the universe like everybody else? You know, all the other planets.
Yeah, I think we are.
Are we? But like if people believe in God, are we set aside so that we're not just a screaming? It's like we're a screaming comet through space. You know how we? I think there's a comet now that we're going to be able to see in the next few days, even in the daylight. That's going to be glowing bright enough that we may be able to see it in the daylight. Are we that the same thing? A comet just flying through the universe, waiting to hit something, you know? So
Well,
anyway,
no, I
so
mean we are in an orbit, so
it's
not
crazy.
we're not willy-nilly out there. I
Well,
mean we are.
we're within the sun's orbit, right? But the sun is in the orbit of our galaxy,
Yeah.
right? So it's just when you look, it's like those Russian dolls that you just keep opening.
You think that's how
That's
the
what
galaxy is? I like that.
it's crazy.
I don't think we don't know what we don't know yet. So there you go.
So in questioning the whole science of the universe, he questioned, of course, flat Earth versus round Earth. So
You really got to get some rest.
but you know, you're right because I think at around 4 o'clock in the morning he started to make sense to me.
It wasn't making sense, Harry. You was just tired. It's like torture. You were like, all right,
I
all
know I give
right.
in.
Okay. All right. Yes.
So the interesting thing is that all the pictures from the sky they give you this picture of an Earth that's spinning, right? Well, kind of spinning. It's moving. We see movement, right?
Hmm.
And he was, he, I think he said he's a sphere skeptic, right? Not that he's a flat earther, but he's not completely sold on it being round either
Oh my
because
God.
of the whole, you know, new science that we're discovering and everything. And then, you know, how now they're telling us dark matter is basically the dominant matter in our universe. But we can't prove dark matter, right?
Mm.
So all of that stuff is, and then like I said, with the new science, it's just like I like I said, around 4 o'clock in the morning, he's making sense and everything. So no, so I was just reading a couple of. He has a few books. Couple, so I was reading the synopsis of his books, and what he's basically doing is throwing a big question mark into everything because nothing. I mean, it is a reality that our science, almost all of our science, isn't settled science, it's theory, right? The theory of relativity, gravity, theory or fact, right? A
Well, you
lot of
get
science.
to, I mean, I think people sort of misuse the word theory as if somehow or other we don't have fact to back it up. I
Well, the
think,
thing is that there's plenty of physicists who could challenge Einstein's math on gravity and stuff like that, right? Especially with the new information coming from the Dave Webb telescope. Like I said, is a lot of it is rewriting physics, everything. It's rewriting everything.
well, I mean, I think you're going to have that the more we know. You know, it's just like doctors, you know, there was one way to sort of treat something, and then technology comes along and you figure out, oh, we could actually do this now. We don't have to do that, you
No,
know.
definitely. But just think about that, right? So you've been dealing with this equation that tells you 2 plus 2 is 4. And then you find out that there's just no way 2 plus 2 is 4. It doesn't add up because there are other, hidden numbers that you don't see. Like they add dark matter, this and that, so it's like it's the X in the equation is just infinite because there's a whole bunch of X's.
Mm.
So it's just interesting theory. I mean, I'm a rabbit hole kind of guy. So
Yeah. You might
especially when
want to
I'm
go down a
tired.
rabbit hole when you're like rested and you can make
I
like,
know.
and you don't feel like a hostage. Like you're not being terrorized. Because you don't have enough sleep, Harry. You hear stuff and you're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. No, it doesn't make sense. You're tired.
Well, here goes another one, right? And any
Uh-oh.
rabbit hole serious conspiracy theorists know the name David Icke, right?
I don't.
And hold on, somebody's coming. How you doing? Oh, wow. For some reason, you look very different. Oh, that's what it is. Oh, that's right. You had a beard. Sorry, it's one of the reporters.
Okay.
So David Icke,
Yeah, he's an
I wonder
English
if that's how he says his name.
conspiracy.
He's a British guy.
Yeah,
Icky.
English conspiracy theorist and a former footballer and sports broadcaster.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I don't know if that's how he says his name. Icky. It could be Icky or Ike.
I think Ick is right.
Anyway, so he has the theory of lizard people controlling basically the world, right? So so reptilian people.
Like the TV show. Remember the TV show?
What you talk about? Lost in no, not Lost in Space.
Remember there was a TV show and they would lizard underneath human. They had like human facade.
Well, you see, that's the thing. That's exactly his theory, right? So basically, the humans that you see is basically a suit.
Yeah.
They- They're able
Yeah.
to change into
That
humans.
was a TV show, Harry.
So it's probably
I can't
based on
think of the
this.
name of it.
But so
I gotta
I think
play.
the Guardian did an article on it. According to public policy polling, around 12 million people in the US believe that interstellar lizards in people suits rule our country.
V. Remember V?
Oh yeah, yeah, V.
V.
So now this I've heard full 3 hour shows, podcasts on people actually believe that. I mean, I don't want to call anyone crazy because I don't know. This world feels like the Matrix sometimes, right? I feel like I'm in a freaking like in a game sometimes. Or I remember when I first saw my psychologist. I'm gonna give away info here. That's how tired I am. I was talking to my psychologist and I'm like, the world seems abstract to me.
Mm.
Sometimes it just feels fake. It feels completely fake, like I'm in a cartoon. And of course, she's saying I was disassociating, and that's a symptom of disassociation disorder, right? Now, my disassociation is different because I'm able to control my bubble, right? So I never let myself float away, right? Into the ether mentally. I always
Okay.
reel myself back in, right? But some people who have this association, they actually stop they actually think suddenly one day they wake up and they no longer know their family. They think that their family are imposters and stuff like that. I mean, it gets really scary. Um, so, but she was saying, not that I have dissociation disorder, but I have it's a symptom when
Okay.
when I feel that nothing is real. It's just I may be dipping my toe into it, but I
Oh,
have some. I've created tools to reel myself back
okay.
in, right?
Okay. Just let
So
me know if you need me to come and punch you.
smack me, right? Smack me into reality.
I'm happy to do the Call of Duty.
But I will say this, right? So it just it really does feel sometimes like I'm in some type of matrix, right?
Mm.
Sometimes everything just slows down. The sky doesn't seem like the sky. It's almost like when I was at Sedona and the mountains felt like I'm in some scene, right?
Because they're so vivid and so vast.
Yeah,
It
it's
it
like
really is. I know what you mean. Yeah. No,
I
I
was
know.
like, man, it feels like I'm in some 1970s western with the Sedona Mountains in the background, and no,
I
so
feel that way when I'm in Jamaica when I was going up the Blue Mountain and you look over and it looks very prehistoric. Do you know what I mean, Harry?
yeah,
Like any moment now, Tyrannosaurus is gonna come through because it's just so vivid and so crazy lush that you're like, this feels unreal. I
yeah.
get it.
So I'm gonna have to go into the studio. Hold that thought.
Uh-oh. Okay. Harry can't play too much often with me because he has to actually run a radio station, you know. So sometimes it bees like that. Sometimes it is like that. And but we're talking about all the conspiracy kinds of things. I didn't even know there were people who were, I guess, I don't know, spear challenged. I think that's a checkout, a bit of a delusional checkout. So anyway, uh, interesting, interesting. Um, well, I don't know what else to say about that. We just work it out as best we can, and going down a rabbit hole at 1:30 in the morning might be challenging. Uh, I don't think you have all your faculties, so
So
good
I'm
rest
back.
will,
Hold on.
you know,
Um,
get some good rest.
yeah, I can't get the
They
camera to
say your
work.
mind whew, can do all kinds of things, particularly when it's under duress, particularly when it's tired.
Are,
The mind can do
are
all
you
kinds of
saying
things.
I'm losing my mind?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying we all have we all have that when we don't. That when they tell, this is why they tell people who drive trains, you can only drive trains for X amount of hours, or pilots, you can only fly planes for X amount of hours,
Oh
right?
yeah, what's interesting when we went to the Grand Canyon, the tour guy, um, well, the tour person, because it was a lady, um, we were like, oh, we have a tour tomorrow to the Sedona Mountains. Are you going to be our guide? And she was like, oh no, there's a law. After I work, I think over 16 hours, I can't be in the vehicle or something in Arizona and stuff. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's just like a pilot or something where they restrict your navigation time. Anyway, so because I think it's a gift, right? The disassociating with stuff, because I'm able to subtract myself from reality sometimes, extract myself from reality, and go down that rabbit hole without, that reality anchor, right? So it's almost like the people who, oh my God, what's that drug? That they go into the desert and they go with the indigenous.
Oh yeah.
And they take that, how they try to fight the spirit animal, right?
Uh-huh. Are you trying to do that? I think there's tours for that.
I would love to do that, but
see, I'd be worried that you wouldn't come back out of it.
The thing is that I'm not a drug guy, so that's the only problem that I have with it. I don't like.
Well, it's not a drug. I mean,
I don't like not being in control of me.
Oh.
So being out of control and being at the mercy of somebody else who's taking care of me is just like not ideal for me.
Okay.
But
I'd be worried about you doing it because I don't. You're a little different. I think it's called peyote.
No. Peyote is basically just weed, but it's something in addition to that.
You mean like LSD?
It's almost like that.
I mean, there's people who will take you on a trip. I mean, like, who can, guide
people
you.
Do that, yeah, with mushrooms and everything. They do.
Yeah,
that.
like Hanifa does that work.
Yeah.
You know Hanifa?
Yeah.
He does that work.
So
I'm finding good reviews with it with people with mental health challenges.
Yeah, I mean, soldiers with PTSD have been using it with good effects to them. So, and if you're stuck, imagine being in a war zone all the time in your head, right? And if you could get some relief from whatever kind of medicine you want to do that. So yes, so this medicine, a lot of that medicine works for people, but other people, they go and they say when they're under, they meet God.
Well, I know you want to do it, Harry.
Yeah, I would.
Sedona might be the best place. I don't know.
Or they meet their guardian angel, or people actually go and they're changed forever after meeting whoever it is they meet and stuff like that.
Do you want that? Something about it is intriguing to you. I don't know. I mean,
well, it is, but I just don't like not being in control. So if I'm gonna lose my mind, I want it to be a controlled.
I don't think you lose your mind. I just think it's a deeper level of consciousness.
Mm-hmm. That's what they say.
I think it's a deeper level of
it's because we live in 3D, right? And when you're under, you may be in a fourth dimension, fifth dimension. You don't know where you're at. So, and
it's quite interesting.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. I know people who want to do it and say, "Hey, how about we do it together?" I'm like, yeah, I've never been that guy who's, let's go mug somebody, let's go do drugs, let's go.
Okay, that's not the same thing.
Yeah, it is for me. It is for me because I wouldn't be motivated by somebody else wanting to do it. It would have to come from me.
All right, I get it.
So, but it does sound interesting. But it
does.
And because, like I said, I'm able to disconnect. I may be down, more than a rabbit hole, right? I think the Earth is about 8,000 feet deep or something like that to the core, something like that. And no, is it 8? I think it's about 8,000 feet, and we've only actually drilled about 8,000 8,000 miles. I forgot what it is.
Okay.
But anyway, so I know we've only drilled up to 8 miles or something like that deep. So, and that's another thing, right? So, think about it. They've only drilled. Oh, my camera's not even up. Okay, wait. Anyway, so think about it. So, the Earth's core, all of that science.
Okay, so the solid inner core is situated about 3,200 miles below the Earth's crust.
Right. So the Earth itself is about 8,000 miles, right? 7,000, something like that.
And it's separated from the semi-solid mantle by the liquid outer core, which allows the inner core to rotate at a different speed from the rotation of the Earth itself.
But you see, all of that stuff isn't math or stuff that we actually determined by actually experiencing it, because we were able to go down to the core and do these tests. No, we've only been down about 8 miles. So it's all theory.
Well, it's hot, so you can't really do that.
So it's all theory, right?
Well, it's not theory. I mean, they have a sense.
Well, they have a sense. That's a good way to put it. They have a sense. But,
So about 1,800 miles below the Earth's surface. Okay.
So we got a long way to go. And that's why you have people who believe there's inner Earth. There's an inner Earth that we haven't even touched because we haven't been that deep. The Earth goes.
Well, it's hot. You can't. It's impossible for humans to exist.
That's what we assume. But what if there are pockets where you're able to exist outside of the heat and all that stuff? So, I mean, that's the inner Earth theory too. That's.
Listen, I'm here for it all.
That inner Earth theory is pretty interesting because you have a pilot, a decorated pilot, who said he flew in to a cave where he was able to land his plane, and he actually found a different, society, people, and everything, right? So, I mean, there's so many different theories, right? And then you have the Arctic, right? That if you try to go to the Arctic, you're stopped. You can't go to certain areas. They don't allow you to go to certain areas. So that's why you have the flat Earth people saying the reason they won't let you into the Arctic is because that's the outer layer, and they don't want you.
I think the reason they don't let you in is because we're not going to go and rescue your ass.
Well, they let us get up on cliffs and climb Mount Everest.
And you see how badly that turns out often, right? People get trapped up there. You don't find their remains for years. And
well, there's also the theory that when Hitler was escaping, I know, Hitler supposedly died, right? He committed suicide or something. But they said the Germans had built a base in the Arctic, and they were fleeing. When they were fleeing towards the Arctic, and a lot of them ended up in Argentina. But they were fleeing towards the Arctic, and we have this. I think a whole fleet of ships went out to the Arctic, and they were in a war in the Arctic, and they had to turn back. Right around that time, around World War II. So
it's dangerous.
No, but they said they were attacked by flying vehicles, and they had to turn back. Right. So there's so many conspiracy theories.
Yeah, that's a good one. Although, why wouldn't the flying vehicles just kill them all? Like just destroy.
Well, they were,
antiquated
shooting
ships.
warning shots.
Oh, okay.
Maybe the extra, we don't call them extraterrestrials. What do we call them, Babz?
We just call them terrestrials.
Terrestrials. So they have to be terrestrials if they're here, right? Forget where they came from. So, but they may not be violent by nature, but they could get violent, right? So it's like we have the technology.
Well, when they run up on white people, they're gonna have to be violent.
We have the technology. I feel like
what white people are gonna do? They're gonna kill you and dissect you. They're not gonna. They're not gonna want to learn from you. They're gonna want to learn of you, through you.
Well,
Harry.
I mean, if you come upon a talking lizard,
and I'm not high,
and you're not high, or you're not tired, completely tired.
I'm not tired. All right.
You might want to figure out how is this lizard walking, talking, and why is he flying this thing? A vehicle. You're like, oh, what is a lizard? Or I've seen videos. They have to be AI, right? But it was before AI, where you have certain cameras catch people blinking their eyes upright instead of sideways. Their eyeballs blink instead of their eyelids and stuff like that. So, people really believe this stuff, Babz. I don't want to mock them.
I'm not. I'm listening.
Well, you're all for it because you're ready to give citizenship. You're like, let's not dissect them.
See, Harry.
For us, we have to dissect them, right? It's like,
no, we don't, Harry. We don't have to do any of that.
Because the lizards we know have like a peanut brain and...
Harry, if they are a species from someplace else, we do not have the right to kill them and dissect them.
I don't think we have the right.
No.
But,
we don't.
No, I agree with you. We don't have the right. But it might be a necessity. Let's figure this out. Can they kill us?
No. Why do we always assume? Because that's too much. See, that's just white supremacy at work right there. Because we always assume that when things come here, it's going to do us harm. And we are always the ones that fire first. You ever notice that in movies?
Well, you have to fire first.
Okay, Harry.
Wait, I was watching a self-defense video on YouTube the other day. And the guy said, always throw the first punch. I'm like, wait, aren't you starting the fight? You throw the first punch.
I don't know if that'll hold up in a court of law. Well, I was being preemptive.
I know, it's like, wait, always?
I thought he was going to punch me first, so I threw the first punch.
That's
called assault.
Well, he said no. I was trying to skip him. He said no. Throw the first punch.
You know what, Harry? When is Karen back? Can you just talk to her at night, like when you're about to go to bed, so you can go to sleep?
Well, you know how kind my wife is that she got up. I was able to get my camera working at the end of the show. So she got up the last 2 days to call me when I got to work, right? So, and she's 3 hours behind, so she's getting up early. But she knows I got problems. I got issues.
Yeah, you do. Because I'm gonna tell you something. You would have got a call 3 hours later.
But also I think it's because that jet lag.
You would have got a call at lunch.
That jet lag isn't letting her sleep either. She's like...
Oh, okay. And where is she? You said she's in
San Diego. Yeah.
Oh, the weather must be nice, though.
Actually, she said it was in the 60s, so that's like our weather. Well, I think we're in the 50s today, right?
Oh, man. Yeah, it's just these next couple of days, and then it'll And it'll jump back up to the high 70s for a little bit.
I remember years ago she went to San Diego for a conference and she was able to just walk into Mexico and she bought a few things and came back, right?
Mm-hmm. You can't do that.
Yeah, I was telling her, don't even get next to the border. Don't even get it. The coyotes will hold you hostage.
Yeah, don't do it.
Stay away.
I don't know what's going on, but I mean, I think she'd probably be fine, but
no, you won't be. Somebody take your ID now. You have to sneak back into the U.S.
Oh,
because you're Hispanic. You're like, wait, I'm not Mexican. Yeah, sure.
Okay, Harry, this is turning into a movie.
I know. You see how tired I am.
It's turning into a movie. You got to suit up and go get her. That would be hilarious. So, all right.
Taken.
We are on our way out. I'm not here on Thursday, Harry. I got an early morning doctor's appointment.
All right.
So I won't be here Thursday, but I'll be here tomorrow, and I've got Kamar Jewell as my guest at 10:15. He's a young Yale playwright. So I'll send stuff later, but just FYI.
Oh, hold on, because I'm not used to being at the board anymore. Let me Wow. All right. I guess we got to go with regular music.
Yeah, we got to go with regular music. You got some? What you got? You was playing some good music. You've been DJing good lately.
I don't know. I just hit the playlist.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take credit.
No, take credit. It's good. It'd be feeling like Quiet Storm up in here. I'd be like, is Harry in a mood?
All right, I'm going to play some Pat Benatar on our way out.
Oh, my God.
I don't know.
All right, let's go with it. I like Pat
Benatar. No. Invoke. You hear it?
Who is this?
Invoke.
Oh, In Vogue. All right.
All right. Thank you for listening to LoveBabz Love Talk on WNHH LP 103.5 FM. Your home for community radio. Justin Farmer is right out the studio. He's waiting to get in.
I know he is.
Hey, Justin. Yeah, so it's just in time conversations is coming. So
I'll see y'all.
See ya.